Well, probably like most other girls who got involved in dance. I started when I was about 5. My mum took me to dancing class because I was a shy child, and she thought it might be a way that I could express myself in movement. And after many tears, I eventually stuck through a class and kept at it and kept going. And at 14, I'd made the decision myself that I wanted to take it further. I remember sending off for prospectuses, my mum receiving them, thinking, what are these things? For vocational schools. So I auditioned for schools, and I chose to go to the Rambert school, where there was equal emphasis on ballet and contemporary dance. I didn't really know much about contemporary dance. I'd done a few classes on a scholarship program I had, and loved it. Suddenly felt like it was something I was better at. I always did very well at everything, but I felt there wasn't something right about ballet with regard to my personality and my physique, and it's a very niche kind of market, and it just didn't really sit well on me. And then I did contemporary dance, and I was suddenly I knew that's something that I enjoyed and that I was good at. And I went to the Rambert school and trained hard for 3 years, and at the end of it I got one of those dream opportunities whereby I was offered a contract with Rambert Dance Company, which was beyond my wildest dreams and expectations, really. I had envisaged being out of work like any other dancer for a few years and just doing whatever. But someone had come to see the show, and I auditioned, and they gave me a contract. First it was as an apprentice, and then I worked my way up and stayed with Rambert for 5 years under Christopher Bruce. Amazing time of my life. And at 23 I decided that I was ready to leave the confines of a large company that tours constantly and without any respite, and I felt that I wanted to develop work in a slightly different way. So I left when I was 23, and for the last 9 years I've been freelance, working with lots of different companies and choreographers, really wide range, from very abstract and improvisation based to very theatrical stuff. And I set up Probe in 2004, and so I've been making or producing work for the company since then, and work that I can perform, and commissioning other choreographers to come in and create the work on myself and other people. And so that's what I do now. And in that time I've had 2 lovely children, so I always feel a bit guilty just talking about my work now, because that's my work as well. So yeah, I'm a dancer, but I'm also a mother. When you're working for a big company like Rambert, you do kind of just turn up prepared, and saying that, they don't find you accommodation or anything like that, which smaller companies tend to. They say, right, you're staying here, you're going there, here's your train ticket. Actually, with Rambert, you had to kind of find your own way there, book your own accommodation. And with the smaller companies, you have to, I guess the biggest difficulty is staying in shape and injury management. I touch wood, haven't really suffered from any major injuries, but if there's any aches and pains or niggles, you have to sort it out yourself as a freelance dancer. You've got no physio on tour with you, or no access to remedial work, and you don't get class every day. So that's the bit I've really suffered with. You have to, really keep yourself in shape and figure out what it is that your body needs. I I've been working a lot with text and song recently over the last 3 or 4 years, I guess. So in that way it just feels like a continuation. It's the first time I've ever done a full-length solo work, which feels a mammoth task. Now, I had the first show yesterday, so I'm still digesting what that means. It's very different from doing 10 or 15 minutes. It's a whole hour, just me out there on stage. It's exciting and liberating and yet very vulnerable. And Small Talk involves me talking and singing and dancing and carrying the whole show. It's a massive ask.
The Torture Place is by a very rich mafioso, and Excel is his daughter. So, he uses, how sick is that, to use your own daughter to be a part of the family business. And she is his best soldier, basically, because he knows she would do anything for her daddy. Now, we don't know what is the story of the daughter and the father, but I guess it's pretty twisted.
For a lot of the time I am wearing earphones that are connected to an iPod, and I am being fed dialogue. And most of it's celebrity dialogue. So it's interviews with American actresses, and I'm relaying it in the moment. And I'm also layering that with movement, and there's music, sound over the top of that. So I hear the dialogue, the audience hears what I am relaying to them, and they hear sound and they see movement, and the three are kind of layered on top of each other. So that was the starting point for the piece. Sometimes I'm just singing, sometimes I'm just speaking, sometimes I'm just dancing, and sometimes I'm doing all of those things at the same time.
Saying some of those funny things to these people and watching and hearing them laughing so hard that they cry. Just play around in that scenario for a little while and notice how fun.
There's about 8 or 9 different personas or characters, and I keep changing from one to the other. And I guess there are things that join them all together. I think people are always on the edge of their seat, not quite knowing what she's going to be next, or where am I? Does she know she's funny? Does she know she's not funny? Does she think she's funny? Or, it's kind of one of those things where people don't really know where they're at or what I'm thinking or when I'm being myself. This is my first village hall. So we're learning as we go along how it works. We're having to think on our feet. We're having to be creative and open-minded. And we'll see. I'm quite interested to see what, because I think there's a lot of local people from the village coming who might not have seen anything like this before. So I'm interested to have a chat with them afterwards and see what they make of it. I hope it's not too challenging, I hope it's challenging in a good way.
My grandmother was one of the biggest inspirations in my life. She taught me how to be a real woman and to have strength and self-respect and to never give those things away. And she used to say, "I'm just trying to matter." And I know what she means, I'm just trying to matter and live a good life and make work that means something to somebody. And you have all made me feel that I might have accomplished that tonight. So thank you so much for this honor.